So Patrick Mahomes is now a 3-time Super Bowl MVP. Borky pointed out that he had played in 6 AFC championship games. They have a 4-2 record in those AFC championship games. He has a 3-1 record as a starting quarterback in the Super Bowl. The one Super Bowl that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs lost was to, hey, Dad, who was it? To whom did they lose?
Oh, gosh, who did they lose to?
It's a very low-hanging fruit. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't outthink the room here, bud. 3 years ago. 4 years ago. It would be Tom Brady.
I don't remember.
Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that is
the one
loss
yes,
you're correct.
That Patrick Brady has
who?
Was to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are we all in agreement that Tom Brady is the best ever?
There's no debate.
6 Super Bowl championships. And are we in agreement that there is a chance that Patrick Mahomes gets to that level?
Yes.
7, by the way. 6 with just the Patriots.
I'm sorry, 6 with the Patriots. The 7th was with Tampa Bay. My apologies. And he played in 10 total, right? 10 total Super Bowls for Brady?
Lost two to Eli. And it's 9, I guess, right? He only lost 2 to Eli, correct? Did he lose somebody else?
On Thursday night at the NFL Honors Awards in Las Vegas, the 2024 Hall of Fame class was announced. Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, and then Randy Gradishar and Steve McMichael. Really good class. Really, really cool to see Patrick Willis inducted into the Hall of Fame. Had to wait a little while. And there are a lot of players that have to wait a little while before they hear their name called. Based on what we talked about just a second ago, the clutch gene, Mr. Cool, the ability to slow down and calm down when everything big is going on around you, as we look at Patrick Mahomes. As we think back to the career of Tom Brady, there is something that became, to me, abundantly clear last night and this morning as I continue to think about it. And that is 1 year from right now, Eli Manning should be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot. He should not have to wait. He should not have to wait for the voters to decide, okay, now he has served his time. Yeah, but Richard, his career. No. We have just quantified that the best quarterback in the history of the NFL and a guy who is perhaps on his way to being the best quarterback in the NFL, best have ever done it, coolest in the biggest moments, and there's one guy that has 2 wins against one of those quarterbacks on the biggest stage there is. And here's the thing. It's not just the 2 Super Bowl wins, because you could argue that the NFC Championship game performances that got those 2 Giants teams to the Super Bowl were actually better than Eli's performances in the Super Bowl themselves. The cold game in Green Bay, and then just the demolition derby that the Giants ran over the 49ers in the final game ever at Candlestick Park. Maybe it's a controversial take. Maybe you think I'm off base on this. But I was trying to think today, how do we come with a local angle to last night? And it's like, these guys don't miss. Tom Brady doesn't miss. Patrick Mahomes doesn't miss. The only time he missed in the Super Bowl was when he faced Tom Brady. And yet you've got a guy who beat one of those 2 twice on the biggest stage with the brightest lights. Eli Manning should be a first-ballot Hall of Famer when they announce it next year. Disagree?
I mean, first ballot is such a hard thing sometimes. I don't disagree that he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, 2 Super Bowl wins, the stats that he put up in his career, he's certainly a Hall of Famer. I don't know that he'll be a first ballot guy, but I mean, if he gets in on the first ballot, I'm not going to be on this program going, that's an outrage and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Borky?
No, I'm with you. I think if you're a Hall of Famer, then you get in when you are eligible. I hate what baseball writers do. I can't stand it. I think that's so goofy. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. If you think the person's a Hall of Famer, vote them in when it absolutely is their time. Willis was kind of controversial. We talked about that a little bit last week. There was some debate about whether or not his career was long enough to justify a Hall of Fame inclusion.
He was the most dominant linebacker in the game for the time that he played.
Yeah.